Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. If you have seen me before, if you haven't, my name is Emily. I make faith and lifestyle videos. I am going to tell you guys a story today about the time when I met with a psychic. It was really stupid. I put myself in a lot of danger. This was 6 or 7 years ago, so I was not following the Lord fully. I was making a multitude of other really bad decisions at the time. And I want to say also, I didn't really know that meeting with psychics and mediums and all that was a sin. I didn't know that it was dangerous spiritually. And so if you are a Christian, maybe you're not a Christian and you don't realize that meeting with psychics and mediums is dangerous, then this video is for you. And if not, then I'm just going to tell you a really crazy story. Before we get into this, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't done that yet. Turn on your notification bell so you don't miss another upload. Hit the like button if you enjoy this so I know that you enjoy my videos and you want me to keep making them. Otherwise, maybe I won't keep making videos, guys. Maybe I'll just stop, you know? Maybe that's what you guys would want or prefer. I am enjoying making videos for you guys, so let me know that you enjoy it as well. And I'm not just over here talking to myself. Okay, let's get into this. There is some construction going on outside and inside my house right now. To be honest, I don't know what's going on. So I might have to keep stopping and recording this, which probably won't make that much of a difference to you, but for me, it's quite obnoxious, but it's fine. We're not here to complain. I'm just here to tell you a cool story. Well, it's not cool. It's actually very stupid. It is a stupid story. Here's the setting, if you will. It's 2015, 2016, and I am dating this guy who was really bad for me. He was an atheist, or maybe agnostic. He would always fight me about God. We were always back and forth. He was verbally abusive. There was a couple times he was physically abusive. Just very clearly someone that God did not want me to be with. I stayed with him because I was very afraid of being alone at the time. By the way, if you're afraid of being alone and you're in a toxic relationship and you're staying in a toxic relationship because of that, please leave. Have the faith in God and to just leave. He has something much, much, much better for you, and it's not worth it, and it only destroys you, and you're kind of just procrastinating the inevitable anyway. That's not this video, but I felt like I should say that. So yeah, it's 2015, 2016. I'm dating this guy. We go to the grocery store together to get whatever, who cares. We're both like in the grocery store together, and then he goes like somewhere else inside of the store while I go get something on the other side of the store. So I'm completely by myself at this point, and I'm like in the dairy aisle or whatever, shopping for milk or I don't know. And I hear this lady call me over from one of the aisles next to me, and she's in like one of those electric cart things that you sit on. She calls me over and she was like, "Here, come here, I wanna tell you something." And I was like, okay. And I feel like I'm really nice. Sometimes I'm too nice because it puts me in risky situations, you know, like, anyway. So I go over to this lady, we start talking, and I don't remember exactly how this conversation started, but she said, "You're with a guy right now that is not sure about you. He's very back and forth. I want to help you." And I was like, how do you know that? I didn't actually ask her that, but she told me that she was a psychic and she handed me her card or whatever. She wanted to do like a quick reading on me if I could just give her a deposit of like $20 in the moment. And I was like, "Oh, I don't have cash on me right now, but I'll give you a call. Maybe we can arrange something," because I thought it was so crazy that she knew. I don't think she saw me with my boyfriend. Like I said, like he went to go find something and then I went to the complete opposite side of the store. I don't think she saw me with him at all. Though I don't believe that it's right to go to a psychic. I do believe that they have powers, but those powers don't come from where they say they come. I don't think that they're like a natural ability. A lot of the times, if not all the time, these psychics and mediums will use the power of demons. We'll get into that in a second. But I was like, whoa, she's legit. Like, she really knows what I'm going through. And I was having a really hard time with this person because I really loved them. And yeah, like she said, it was always back and forth. And I was like at such a low point in my life too. Like, I was willing to get help from anyone and anything at that point. I tell her like, "No, I don't have a deposit, but like, I'll give you a call." So I think we started texting like a couple days later, and she wanted me to come meet her at her apartment in Phoenix. So me being the dumb girl that I was at the time, I decided to go meet this random lady at her house. You know, at the time, I didn't really know about tarot cards, really. I knew they existed, I guess, but I didn't really know what they were. I didn't really understand the deceit behind crystals. I didn't understand a lot of these new age practices and like how demonic they really are. I was a bit entangled in new age culture at the time. I was kind of ingraining it into my Christianity, which I see a lot of Christians do. It's not biblical. Stop it if you're doing that. You need to pray about it and get that stuff out of your life, but that's another video. I'm gonna make a different video about new age, and I'm not here to judge or condemn or anything like that. I'm just speaking as someone who's been there and someone who has used manifestation and meditation and all these different things to find fulfillment. You only get that fulfillment and peace through Jesus Christ alone. Again, another video. The reason I bring up all those things is because when I walked into the house, this lady greets me. She's really nice, right? And then when I go into her apartment, it's like this small, like 2 or 3 bedroom apartment, and there's like 4 other like ladies there around her age, around her same size, just sitting on the couch, like smoking cigarettes or whatever. And I'm like overly nice sometimes, right? And I'm like, hi, how are you? Whatever. And I think they all just looked at me. I don't remember anyone saying hi to me, which was weird. So I go into this one bedroom where this lady takes me, and she starts doing a reading on me. This is when she pulls out like a bunch of tarot cards and whatever, and she does this whole reading on me, and she says, I know what your problem is. And I was like, do tell. And she said, you have a woman from your past who is very envious and hateful towards you and has put a curse on you, and you will never be happy, you will never find true love until you break this curse. She was telling me that she could help me break this curse through her powers, her magic, whatever, if I could just give her a deposit of like $600 or whatever it was. And I was like, buddy, no, I'm not giving you $600. What was weird is I felt like she knew that I had more cash in the car. Like when I had gotten to her place, I think before when we were texting, actually, she had asked for a deposit of $20, and that's what led me to her place. And I'm pretty sure that's what I gave her when she was giving me this reading. It was like $20 or $60 or something like that. It might have been $60. It doesn't matter. It was under $100 that I gave this woman, right? And that was the deposit for the reading that she just gave me, where she told me I was cursed. I felt like she knew that I had like more cash in the car. She kept like pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. She's like, well, just give me $200 right now. Well, just give me $100 right now, and I'll do a further reading, like, or it'll be a deposit for the next time we visit. And I was like, fine. Like she just kept pushing me. She kept pushing me. I had like a few $100s in the car. I went and grabbed like another $100 or $200 because I'm an idiot. I bring it back to her because honestly, I just want to leave at this point. But before I left, I noticed that I was wearing a cross necklace at the time. I noticed that she looked at it, like she took note of the fact that I was wearing a cross necklace. And then pretty soon after that, if not right after that, she made a comment about how like, oh, God wants this for you or something, right? She brought God into the mix somehow, like trying to persuade me, right? And there was something in me, like even though I kind of believed her, there was something screaming in me like to run. And I'm pretty sure that was the Holy Spirit just being like, you need to leave the situation right now, get out of there. And so I left, never called her again, never texted her again. She kept blowing up my phone actually for like weeks and weeks after that. She was like, I don't know what's going on with you, like, are you okay? Are you sure you're okay? I want to make sure nothing bad happened to you. But she was really just trying to like scam me for money, right? The thing is with psychics, I believe that there's some that like have good intentions and there's some that have bad intentions, but it doesn't matter because they're both getting their powers and their magic from the same source, and it's not from God. The Bible talks many times about how we should not go to mediums, we should not go to psychics, we should not go to spiritists, because it's all sorcery, and the Bible's very strong about it. I mean, God is strong about his stance against sorcery, that we should not have anything to do with it as Christians. It's very dangerous. It's the work of demons, and I didn't know that at the time. It's just, there's a lot of things about the New Age culture that I didn't really see the harm in until I was like growing closer with Jesus. You know, the closer I grew in my relationship with God, he just revealed more of those things to me. And then, you know, if I would ever have a moment where I would go back to those things, where I would go back to astrology or using crystals or anything like that, they the closer I grew to God, like the less and less power that those things had. Because compared to the power of Jesus, like nothing compares. Nothing compares. Not a stone, no tarot card reading, no psychic, like none of that. So in the book of 1 Samuel, it tells this awesome story. Samuel was a prophet from the Old Testament who worked very closely with King Saul. King Saul was the king right before David took over as king. Saul suffered from a lot of jealousy and envy towards David because he knew that David was loved and adored and had favor of the Lord. So he let that consume him. He also disobeyed God in a couple instances, which led to his downfall as king and to his death. The prophet Samuel came to Saul one day and told him that God was going to take away his throne, basically. And then Samuel died, and then the Philistines started to pursue Saul and his kingdom. Saul was in this position where he wasn't hearing from God, and he felt like he was cornered from all sides against the Philistines. He didn't know what to do. And because he had disobeyed God, and because Samuel had already given him the prophecy from the Lord that his kingdom would fall, he was really, really scared. In 1 Samuel 28, it tells the story about how he disguised himself and then went to go seek a medium. And when he talked to the medium, he had the medium bring up Samuel, the prophet, from the dead so that he could ask Samuel what he's supposed to do. Samuel's brought back from the dead in spirit through this medium, and he's mad. Samuel says, "Why have you disturbed me by bringing this up?" And Saul says, "I am in great distress. The Philistines are fighting against me, and God has departed from me. He no longer answers me, either by prophets or by dreams, so I have called on you to tell me." And Samuel's pissed, rightfully so, and he says, "I already told you, the Lord's going to take your kingdom," basically. And then the Lord fulfilled exactly what Samuel had told Saul. The Philistines overcame Israel. They killed Saul. They killed his sons, and that was the end of that. And then in 1 Chronicles 10:13, it says, "Saul died because he was unfaithful to the Lord. He did not keep the word of the Lord and even consulted a medium for guidance and did not inquire of the Lord. So the Lord put him to death and turned the kingdom over to David, son of Jesse." Because when we're going to mediums, when we're going to psychics, we are seeking guidance from everything but God. People also tend to use astrology for this. They use astrology to tell them the future. I used to do it. There was an app that I used to use where there were these astrologists that, based on the position of the stars during certain seasons and years, they could tell your future. So I would ask them, am I going to be with this person? Am I going to do this with my life? Like, what's going to happen next month? Like, what should I expect? You know, all of that is sorcery. Don't even entertain it. I have said in one of my videos before that I do identify with the astrological names. I don't identify with that anymore. I also made a video before about how I talked about how I still do yoga classes, but I don't participate in the spirituality of yoga. I don't do yoga classes at all anymore. I do still stretch, but I don't call it yoga at all. I don't do the yoga classes at all. I just want nothing to do with New Age culture because it really is taking over Christianity right now. I've seen, and people are replacing it for Christianity, and it's really, really demonic. Like I said, I'm gonna make another video about New Age culture, but like these mediums, these psychics, like it all pertains to that. And like I said, if you believe in the Bible at all, if you believe in Jesus, the Bible talks a lot about not using psychics and not consulting the dead. The Bible does talk about how we should not even try to talk to the dead. Look, this is coming from someone who has used things like Ouija boards and stuff before, but they're really dangerous because these psychics are using the power of demons. They're not using the power of God or whatever they claim to. And some of them are really good intentioned, but you can still be deceived even though you have good intentions. So that's something to keep in mind. So yeah, I guess that's it for today. I just kind of wanted to tell you this quick little story time and get your guys' thoughts on it. So if you have any thoughts on this topic, leave them in the comments down below. I would love to hear them. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching this. I really, really, really appreciate your support. I pray you guys have a good rest of your day or night, wherever you are. I love you. God loves you. And I'll see you next week. Bye.
I thought I wanted it easy, but easy never needed.